Hello everyone, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are continuing our series of predicting all of the NFL teams' schedule, and today we keep going down the United States and we are at the Washington Commanders, who had a rough season last year. There were a lot of injuries, there were a lot of coaching problems, and problems at quarterback as well. But we'll see, maybe this year they can turn it around a little bit. So we start off in the preseason where they take on the Browns. The Browns and the Commanders are pretty much the two teams that were like a big mess last year, as well as the Broncos. So this could be a really close game, but I do think the Commanders will get this one. And then we move on to Commanders versus Ravens. I think this is a no-brainer. Ravens get the win there, and they're 1-1 in the preseason so far as they take on the Bengals now. And yeah, the Bengals will win this one. Obviously, just fell short of a Super Bowl 2 years ago. But this year, I think they could be the Super Bowl champion. So they'll beat the Commanders pretty easily. And the Commanders will go 1-2 in the preseason. And now let's start off the real stuff. September 10th, Cardinals versus Commanders. So, both teams had a rough year this past season, but I think the Cardinals will win this one because of Kyler Murray pretty much. I know Kyler Murray had some issues last year, but I do think he'll turn it around this year, have a better season. Commanders are still trying to figure everything out. Will they have Carson Wentz? Will they get a new quarterback? We don't really know yet. But another team who struggled last year is the Broncos. They obviously got the huge contract for Russell Wilson, like one of the biggest contracts in history, but it did not work out well last year. The Broncos had a very rough season, a very bad record. Didn't make the playoffs, obviously. So, who's going to win this one? I think I'm trusting in the Commanders, mainly because if Chase Young is healthy and they have Terry McLaurin. So, if both of them are healthy, I think this should be an easier game against the Broncos. But this game, not so easy. They had two easy games to start, they lost one of them. But now they have two very difficult games. Two of the Super Bowl contenders next year, Bills and the Eagles. And I just think both of these teams are way too electric. I say that they will lose both of the games. I'm not keeping track of the record right now, so stick till the end because I will then be going back and looking at what their final record is. And next up, they've got the Bears. Bears had a tough season as well last year. Justin Fields did play okay last year, but they had some injuries, they had coaching problems, all that stuff. And I think the Commanders will win this one. It's going to be a really close game. Both teams are going to have a very mediocre season, I believe, but I do believe the Commanders can inch it out. But a team who I think people may be sleeping on this year is the Falcons. Just think about it. They got Kyle Pitts. Who's at their quarterback? I can't remember. Matt Ryan. No, he's not on their team anymore. He went to the Colts last year. But yeah, I think I've got to give it to the Falcons. I think their quarterback, is it Marcus Mariota, maybe? Or Malik Willis. No, Malik Willis is not. I don't even remember. I'll look into this later. But Falcons will win this one. And now the Giants. I think this is going to be a rough year for the Commanders. Wow, I think the Giants got to win this one. Commanders, it's not looking good so far. And now they have to take on the Eagles again. Yeah, it doesn't help that they have a very tough division as well with the Giants, the Eagles, and the Cowboys. So the Eagles will win this one again. Wowzer. Okay. And now they take on the Patriots. You know what? I'm gonna give it to the Commanders here. I do like Mac Jones. I think he could be better than people are making him out to be. But I don't know. Obviously, it's hard to replace a great player like Tom Brady. Even though that was 3 years ago, they're still recovering from it. And next up, they got the Seahawks. No, they're not going to win this one either. Seahawks take the win here. And now they have to take on the Giants again. This is brutal for the Commanders. Giants will win once again. Oh, man. Okay. So I don't know what their record is at the moment, but I know it's pretty bad. It is very bad, and it's going to keep getting worse. They're going to lose to the Cowboys. Too good of a team, obviously. Dak Prescott's a solid QB. And then the fastest team in the NFL, Tyreek Hill, Tua, Dolphins. They're going to win again. My Super Bowl favorite, I believe. And now the Rams. Ooh, I think they can win against the Rams. I think that will be a relatively easy game. If they can get past Aaron Donald, that's their only concern pretty much. And now we have the Jets on Christmas Eve. I think the Jets will have to win again. Wow, okay. And now the 49ers and the Cowboys. They are going to lose both of these games. And give me a moment. I'm going to go back, look at the record, and I will be back to you in a few seconds. Okay, so I just went back, and their final record is 4-13. And obviously, that will not be enough to get them into the playoffs. So, this was a shorter one. Obviously, it was pretty easy to predict. Basically, just pick the other team on every single game. But this is going to be it. New video will be out soon. I know it's been about a week since our last video, and I've got to get back on track because at the moment we have about 3 weeks until the NFL season starts. But my life is pretty busy, so you've got to understand that. But I'm going to be recording a bunch of these videos and just make them come out over the next week or so. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.